What's the biggest lie we're all told in life? Before we start with the first story, please hit subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Story 1. That people get what they deserve. The reality is, the world is unjust. Some evil people flourish, some kind people struggle all their lives. I always think about this when I remember that Bob Ross, Mr. Fred Rogers, and Alex Trebek all died from horribly painful cancers. The world is unfair, and nobody is exempt from it. The world isn't fair at all, and there is no such thing as karma. The universe doesn't give a crap about any of us. The universe is completely indifferent. It doesn't care whether you succeed or fail, live or die. It's totally random but in complete balance at all times. There is no karma. There are no miracles. There's a real beauty to this random indifference, but at times, it's hard to admire it when you're at the bottom struggling. Story 2. You can be anything you want to be. Yes, but also very much no. I find it very frustrating when this idea is spread by people who did manage to be successful, even when the deck was stacked against them. Like, that's a great accomplishment and I'm happy for that individual. I'm sure they worked very hard to get there. But that's not really a strong argument that anyone else could do the same. It almost always comes down to luck and being in the right place at the right moment. And also, some people just aren't built to excel in certain disciplines. Like, not everybody can be LeBron James, because he's a foot taller than the average male to start with. Story 3. That everything gets easier with time. Sometimes you just get better at handling the chaos. Can confirm. Every year since 2020 has been the new worst year of my life. I don't even know if I'm holding it together at this point, or if everyone else can see I've lost it and are just being nice to me because they think I'm insane. Also, if you're like me and honestly thought at some point things just click as an adult and you'd get it after 30 plus years of not getting it like everyone else seems to, maybe get yourself a therapist and talk about it. Your brain might just work a bit differently, and I wish I was in therapy when I came to the realization that no, not everyone is constantly struggling like I am. The therapy after the realization is helping me come to terms with and helping me figure out ways to help myself. So if you feel the same, maybe give a go to see if they can help with ways to handle the chaos. Story 4. The biggest lie? That adults have it all figured out. Spoiler, we're all just oversized kids faking confidence, using words like mortgage and 401k to cover up the fact that we're Googling how to boil an egg for the 3rd time this month. Also, our government. We grow up thinking our civilization is civilized and has life figured out, and that they will do what's in the best interest of us, but nope, not at all. This helps until I see people dropping polished speeches in casual conversation. Some people are truly a different breed of intelligence and ability. Not me. Story 5. Money doesn't buy happiness. Well, it makes it a lot easier. It really doesn't buy happiness. It does buy quality medical care and accessible fitness and nutrition, high-quality shelter, every creature comfort and form of entertainment imaginable, and a stability that can give room for personal growth and development. Also easier access to attractive companionship and support for a family. Also influence and power to shift society's direction into your own personal vision. But no, it doesn't purchase happiness. While it does make it easier, it clearly does not buy happiness. Look at Chester Bennington. He had everything, yet decided to end it all. Look at Elon Musk. Look at Bezos. These people are the richest people in the world, yet riddled with insecurities and trying to matter. They aren't happy. Money doesn't buy happiness is no lie. Story 6. You need to find a job that you enjoy and fulfills you. This is a lie told to us to convince us that the most important thing in your life is your job. It sustains you, gives you enjoyment and fulfillment. The thing is, many, probably most people don't love their jobs, and that's all right. If you have a job you love, that's great, but if you don't, that's fine too. There's a lot more to life than working really. What you need out of a job is 2 things: enough money to live a lifestyle that you want. It should be tolerable enough to do day in and day out. That's it. A job should not be an end goal in itself. It should enable you to pursue the things that you want to do. Story 7. This is a pretty generic answer, and it is actually misleading. Connections aren't something mythical. You can work on those, actively. Being at the right place at the right time also requires effort. Look at the AI boom. If you had studied it, you would be in the right place at the right time. If you hadn't, you wouldn't be. So while it is no guarantee, putting in effort increases your chances of being in the right place at the right time. When an opportunity presents itself, you need to be able to take advantage of it. And that requires preparation beforehand. Plenty of people work hard, only to get screwed in the end. Sure, there are no guarantees. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow, you never know. You may have a medical emergency, a death in the family, who knows? A fire might destroy all your possessions. All of this might happen. But you know what? I bet you would survive all of those much better with an advanced degree and at a senior position at your job than without a degree and being on an entry-level job. Again, effort adds up. Effort counts. Story 8. Hard work pays off. It may in regard to personal satisfaction or self-improvement, but there is generally little correlation between hard work and high compensation. Edit, I will say that I've worked hard at points, but timing and sheer luck have played a much larger part in my success. Do I tell people to work hard? I do. Do I tell them to time right and find angles? Absolutely. And yet everybody who succeeds tells their survivor bias story, bringing their hard work and follow your dreams, then never talks about luck or environment coincidences. And everybody buys it and perpetuate this legend, forgetting the majority of people who failed with hard work and dedication. Story 9. When I was 13, me and my friend were walking home from school. We decided to take a shortcut through the football field. Some guy who was hanging around the public toilet came up to us with a knife and told us to give him our money and phones. We were 13, so we didn't have phones, and the only money we had left was our lunch money. He didn't believe us and tried to search our bags, and out of nowhere I said that we saw a guy bragging about his new phone just near the entrance of the field. My friend nodded his head and the mugger believed us and went to the entrance, which was around a corner. As soon as we were out of sight, we sprinted home. That was the day lying saved my life. Story 10. Your high school years are the best years of your life. No, they're not. I'm 19 and have been out of high school and in college for a year now. High school was far worse than anything else I've had to experience. My high school experiences have left me with severe anxiety and depression. And I'm prone to have anxiety attacks and panic attacks if I see old people from high school on my daily duties. Thankfully, I can hide it. Most that's seen is my skin going pale, and it looking like I'm having a hard time breathing. I usually have to book it to a safe space to calm myself down. High school has left an impression on me that will stick with me for a long, long time. Story 11. Effort doesn't matter. People, especially younger people on Reddit, seem to be completely convinced that anyone who has achieved anything has had it handed to them. While the truth is that if you work hard, you will end up in a better spot than someone who didn't. I'm 30 and I can already see the difference between my peers, some who worked hard to graduate, get certified, make a career, and those who didn't. It adds up, people. Effort counts. Hard work is definitely a part of the recipe, but it's not the only ingredient on the list. If you lack the other ingredients, connections, money, being at the right place at the right time, then your chances for failure increase drastically. Plenty of people work hard, only to get screwed in the end. That's the biggest myth we get told, is that hard work brings success. It takes more than hard work alone. You can do everything right and still lose. Edit, for some reason, a few commenters seem to be under the impression that I am against hard work, and clearly did not read the very first sentence of my post. Jumping to all sorts of conclusions, shaking my head. It's frustrating when people choose to cherry pick and ignore what I clearly said. Part of the reason why the most toxic aspects of hustle culture stay alive. I'm not interested in arguing with brick walls. Story 12. That it has meaning and purpose. It's true that there's no one like you, but in the grand scheme of things, none of us matter. None of us are more than anyone else, and nobody will remember us eventually. All we are truly is dust in the wind. And that's okay, because it means there's no pressure to be anything great or find a purpose or whatever. Just live. Just exist. Just be. It's okay. We don't all have to be exceptional superheroes. You have a free will and you can determine what is meaningful to you. I love my husband more than anything and he means something to me. He has meaning. He loves himself and gives himself meaning. We do matter, but it's up to us to decide and create that. Don't listen to anything else when you're deciding what's important. It's your free will. Story 13. Follow your dreams. My brothers who did not follow their dreams, extremely successful. One studying to be a biologist, one is an urban planner, and one is a radar technician. All have fantastic social lives, and my eldest brother even has a girlfriend. Me, who did keep trying to follow my dreams, not even a successful YouTube channel, lost all my motivation to draw, enslaved to people, ink for the rest of my life, because I wouldn't stop being the weird kid of the family, less than $300 in the bank account. Can't even land a job at the thrift store because my parents don't want to drive that way. All because nobody gave me the cold facts about wanting to be an animator these days, which would have convinced me to change my course and build actually useful skills. So, no, you don't need dreams, you need a plan, and if you prioritize dreams over a plan, you may as well be Icarus flying into the sun. Story 14. Me and my best mate. Changing mate's name to Bob. We used to rent games together at a game place when we were teens. I went in one day without Bob, and the guy Mike owns and runs it says the account is under Bob. If you're the other guy, you'll have to set up another account. He asked, "You're Bob, aren't you?" I said yes, small white lie, got the game to rent and told Bob the story later. We spent the next few years talking to the owner all the time, and the owner saying goodbye to Bob. The place closes down and the lie ends there. It had gone on for too long. 4 years later, I'm married and we go and pick up something from an electronics store. And there's Mike. He runs over and shakes me hand and says, "How's life, Bob?" He tells one of his employees that I kept his store alive with all the games me and my mate bought and rented. He complained to Mrs. Bob, where was his invite to the wedding. He gave me and my confused wife a 20% discount, and we went on our way. 10 years later, I needed a computer piece. I took my 2- and 4-year-old kids with me and went to computer parts store. And lo and behold, there was Mike. He says, "Long time no see, Bob." My kids are confused but are shy, so they are quiet. Mike gives me a free upgrade on the hard drive I was buying. As we are leaving, I'm holding my 2-year-old and she exclaims quite loudly, "His name is not Bob." I freeze and feel sick. Time slows down. Then she says, "His name is Dad." Mike and his work friend laughed and I made my exit. "Sorry, Mike, my name isn't Bob." Story 15. Now, this is a bit of a tragic kid experience, but it's a core memory that will always stick with me. So when I was young, 5 to 6, I used to suck my thumb. My mom would always say, if you keep sucking your thumb, it will turn orange and then fall off. I was terrified of this, but the thumb sucking was impulsive. So one weekend we went camping and she kept saying this to me because I was sucking my thumb. On the way home from camping, she bought us orange soda and nacho cheese Doritos for our ride back. Me and my bro rode in the bed of the truck. I drank my orange soda and ate my Doritos and passed out on the bed of the truck that was full of blankets, sucking my thumb. When we got home, my mom woke me up and I took my thumb out of my mouth and it was totally orange because of the Doritos and the orange soda. I started freaking out and could not stop crying for several hours because I thought my phone was going to fall off. I still have no idea if she bought that stuff on purpose just to mess with me, but I have a feeling she did. Never sucked my thumb again. Alright folks, that's a wrap. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your those in the comment below.